Hi everyone, this is Michael with the general reading for Aries Sun, Moon, Rising, and Venus for the month of October 2019. I do hope this video finds you well, whether you are watching for yourself or cross-watching for another individual with Aries placements. Hello and welcome. I just want to thank all of you who have been supporting this channel with your likes, shares, comments, and subscribes, especially those of you who have been with me since the very beginning. We actually just broke 25,000 subscribers, which is absolutely amazing. Thank you all so much. I have felt so welcome here on YouTube, and I love reading the comments, not only for people, you know, who are supporting me, but also supporting each other and relating to one another. That's actually really an amazing gift to be a part of that. And just this community, this tarot community on YouTube is really unique and lovely, and it's been so amazing to be a part of. So I hope you feel as welcome on this channel as you have made me feel. I do want to offer, as a token of my gratitude for all of you, I'm going to be doing another giveaway where the winner gets a choice between a free reading or a free distance Reiki session. I'm going to be launching that on my Instagram and probably later this week, so you can definitely keep your eyes peeled for that. If you haven't already, I definitely recommend following me on all of my social media and subscribing to my YouTube channel, joining the community here. That way you don't miss out on the announcement, you won't miss out on your chance to win a free Reiki session or a free reading, and I'll also be hosting other giveaways in the future. I do have all of my social media profiles linked in the description box down below. I also post general card readings as well as pick a card readings on my Instagram, which you can look through as well. All of those are timeless, so if there's something that pops out at you, you can just click on something and see if that resonates for you. I do also have links for personal readings, Reiki sessions, and donations as well for those of you who feel so called. Now, before we actually go into the general reading, for those of you who are new to this channel, I have been starting these general readings off with an astrology report. I might do a poll. I might see if people actually enjoy the astrology reports, if you think it adds some insight to the readings. I personally feel like it does. So definitely let me know in the comments down below how you feel about it. I might start making them a separate video in the future. I'm kind of just putting my feelers out there. But anyways, for those of you who are not interested in the astrology report, I will invite someone to leave a timestamp in the comment section down below. I will pin that so you can just skip straight to the tarot reading if you're not interested in the astrology. But again, I personally feel like it's very helpful. It can help you figure out what might be happening when, especially relative to this stuff that's coming up in this reading. It can kind of give you a good idea. I do have a link for an astrological forecast blog post as well for those of you who want the specific dates for these aspects and transits, and I think it's just easy to kind of reference that throughout the month as well to see what's happening for all of you. Now, for Aries, there's been, we are in your opposite sign right now. We are in Libra season, so there has been a lot of emphasis on relationships for all of you and partnerships, maybe the way you're showing up to partnerships, maybe the way you approach relationships, maybe current existing partnerships that you are in. There could be a lot of reevaluating or, you know, new insights. There's a lot of ways that could really focus, but that's kind of the emphasis for you for the start of October. And it's kind of been that way since later part of September. And, you know, October is a really interesting month. We do have Pluto going direct, and with it also being Scorpio season in the second part of October, starting October 23rd, there really is very strong scorpionic influences right now, which is your 8th house. But, you know, what's interesting about this is with Pluto going direct in your 10th house in Capricorn, Saturn went direct in Capricorn last month. I feel like a lot of what is happening in October is an extension of what has been occurring in September. And as we had all of the inner planets, Mars, Mercury, Venus, the Sun, moving through the sign of Virgo, they were all opposing Neptune in Pisces, which was creating a lot of tension and revealing a lot of truths in our day-to-day lives. And it wasn't always comfortable, it wasn't always easy. I think a lot of truth bombs were dropped last month. I just feel like a lot of people on the internet were also opening up about things, a lot of things were being exposed. So it was a really interesting time. For you, Aries, this is happening in your 12th and 6th houses in astrology. So this pertains to your daily life and your spiritual self, your private world in a lot of ways. So I think the way this is really was looking for you is the way you were moving through your day-to-day life, you really had to figure out what is no longer in alignment for you. You know, maybe starting some new routines, dropping some old habits that aren't really working out or aren't really healthy for you anymore. I do also see, with all of the emphasis in Capricorn right now with 2 direct planets, or 2 planets going direct, there is a lot of focus on career, your purpose, your role in the world. So all of the stuff that is happening for you, you know, whatever is transforming for you in your life, however you're changing your life, it's also really making you think a lot about your, you know, your role, your purpose on this planet. You know, our midheaven, our 10th house, it's the highest point above us from the moment we are born. And this is especially true for Aries rising. Most of you will have a Capricorn midheaven. This is really, you know, this is your potential. This is what you're reaching towards. This is how you are known in the world. So I think there's been a lot of emphasis on, you know, really changing the way we approach things, that we've been approaching things, especially with now all the planets moving through Scorpio. They're now going to be opposing Uranus in Taurus. Again, we have these oppositions. There's going to be a lot of energy that just isn't working. We're going to have to figure out how to, you know, find stability. New ways to create stability, new ways to create money. Our values may be changing as well. That 2nd house isn't just monetary value, it's also our morals in a lot of ways too. So there's a lot that's changing right now. It's been a very intense past couple of months, really. And I'm very curious to see what is going on for the rest of the month for all of you. We do also have an Aries full moon on the 13th, so that's a nice little energy boost for all of you. And it's really a good time to get back in touch with yourself, to let go of things that are no longer true or authentic for you. Again, that's a big theme because Aries is the sense of self, and that's your 1st house. So there is this sense of really getting to know who you are and kind of dropping things that, you know, don't really allow you to relate to yourself, that don't allow you to be authentic, or things that are holding you back from just taking action. So really, really exciting stuff. And then we have on the 28th, we have a new moon in Scorpio, and because we also have Mercury going retrograde in Scorpio on the 31st on Halloween, kind of scary because that has a tendency to make communication and information a little wonky. There's a lot of miscommunication, a lot of misinformation, I should say. But with the specific placement, with Mercury in Scorpio going retrograde, appearing like it's going backwards, that planet of communication, that planet of travel and ideas, that focus is going inward. And conjunct that with the moon in Scorpio, I feel like there's a lot of intuitive abilities that are going to be coming out towards the end of the month. A lot of mediumship, especially, so talking to dead loved ones or feeling the presence of deceased people, or even your spirit guides. That could be the case for some of you as well. Just stay open to whatever messages are coming through, either in dreams or through your intuitive senses, or even, you know, signs in your day-to-day life. You might be getting signs from loved ones that they are with you or supporting you, or they're guiding you in some way. And it's a really good time to tap into that if that's something you're interested in. Now, of course, with Mercury going retrograde, again, that's going to add some delays. It might create some misunderstandings, although I feel like that might be more appropriate for November's video. But just keep in mind, especially towards the end of October, things might be slowing down, there might be some delays. Don't panic, don't freak out. It's a good time to start finishing projects rather than starting new things. That's kind of how we can best use the Mercury retrograde period. Now, I am going to go into the tarot reading for all of you. Before we begin, I do just want to disclaim that this is a general reading, meaning not all the messages that come forward are going to be meant for you specifically. Some of the energy may also be in the reverse, so if there are other people showing up in the reading, it could actually be your own energy or vice versa. Especially if you are cross-watching for someone who has a lot of Aries placements, that could very well be the case. You could be showing up as the other person. So just switch the roles as they apply. Don't get too hung up on the time frames for this reading as well. This is a general reading, so time is pretty fluid. It's just where things were, where things currently are, and where things are going. And that's going to be different for all of you. If this reading does not resonate or you would like further clarity, you are more than welcome to check out the general readings for your moon, rising, or Venus signs. If you don't know what those are, I have provided a link for a natal chart calculator in the description box as well that can help you figure out some of your other astrological placements. I do also have Heart of the Matter love readings on my YouTube page as well. It's all one playlist now. You can just go to the most recent one, or you can scroll through the past ones. They're actually timeless readings. That's if you're looking more for advice for your love life, and this one just doesn't do it for you, or you want some more clarity. Anyway, let's start. Tuning in here. What are the messages for Aries, Sun, Moon, Rising, and Venus? Wow, that is too many. Show me clearly. There we go. What are the messages for Aries, Sun, Moon, Rising, and Venus for the month of October? This is the energy coming into October. This could be stuff that you have been learning about, stuff you've been thinking about. Maybe things you have left behind, we'll see. Okay. So we have the Nine of Pentacles, the Son of Swords, and the Eight of Cups and the Two of Wands showing up together. Interesting. So what I'm really seeing here, there's definitely this sense of movement for some of you. Some of you may actually be looking at moving or traveling, going somewhere, especially with the Son of Swords or the Knight of Swords in traditional tarot. I do feel like for some of you, there was the sense of moving on from a relationship, especially with an air sign. Could also be a late Taurus for some of you. And you're really leaving something behind that no longer serves you, or you're thinking about it. And you really are looking towards the future. And I gotta be honest, I get some pretty strong single energy from this collective, because we have the Nine of Pentacles here, which can kind of be bachelor or bachelorette energy. Maybe you've been putting yourself out there a little bit, but to be honest, I feel like the focus has been more on you focusing on yourself and getting over something from the past, getting over some sort of conflict or disagreement. But again, this really does feel like a breakup for some of you. I also hate to say twin flame, but sometimes with the Two of Wands, I do see that. So some of you may be in separation from someone you consider your twin flame. So I see a lot of, even though there's a lot of heavy emotions associated with the Eight of Cups here, I'm actually feeling from all of you, from this collective that I'm tapping into, that it's not as bad as it was. There's this sense of optimism, the sense of looking forward, of looking into the future. There's definitely some of you who still haven't left something behind. But I do feel like for a lot of you, you've been focusing on yourself. There's been actually a nice deal of stability for some of you. There might have been some sort of money or career opportunity that came in, or maybe you're just very abundant right now. But I do feel like with this Son of Swords, there's also this really big push to want to go somewhere, to want to do something. It wants to be active. There really is this desire to go forward. Some of you actually have been kind of comfortable in your misery. That is actually an energy I'm getting for some of you. You know, because you do have this Nine of Pentacles. You do have a lot of comfort around you. But in your heart, we have the Son of Swords. In your head, we have the Eight of Cups and the Two of Wands. Even though all of your day-to-day needs are being met, or you're doing well, even on the surface, I do feel like there is this desire for something more, for something greater, or someone else in your life. For animal wisdom, we have the hyena and the bee. Yeah, some of you have been busting your ass with the bee card here. You've really been working quite hard. Again, some of you might also be going on a vacation or planning a trip. Or that's something you should be doing, kind of giving yourself some space. You really have cultivated a lot of sweetness here for yourself. And it's okay to kind of indulge in whatever it is you've been cultivating. I do see with hyena, though, there is this sense of wearing a mask, of not being totally satisfied. It's almost like that laughter where someone's laughing too hard. Someone's trying to mask something. Someone's trying to hide something. Hide some pain. That could be you. It could also be someone around you, especially if you're dealing with an air sign, or someone who's just very active, someone who's very just, they go and do, they're very much a doer here, this person, and sometimes they can step on people's toes. Someone who kind of charges in. Interesting. We are now going to be looking at what is coming in to October. This is especially pertinent to the first half of October. Could also be just what is being introduced. Again, don't take the time frames too literally here. What is coming in for Aries for the first part of October? What is being introduced into Aries' lives for October? What new energy is coming in? What is the energy for October for Aries? I keep getting like this headache for some of you, like tension headache, and Aries does rule over the head. I wonder if some of you are really having some like bad headaches or like persistent headaches. I usually don't get headaches, so that's part of it too. Oops, that's too many. Show me clearly. Wow. This is pretty similar energy, actually, to what we've already been talking about. Oops. It's this one. All right, so we have the Hierophant and the Ace of Wands, the Three of Swords and the Six of Swords, and the Justice card. Again, air sign energy, Libra, and the swords here. I also do have some Taurian energy as well, again with the Hierophant. I was kind of getting that with Son of Swords, third decan Taurus, someone born in the last 10 days. I feel like you're definitely feeling stuck with this Hierophant card. That is very, yeah. Whatever situation you find yourself in, it's comfortable, but it's like spiritually, you know you need more, you know you need something new. There's this spark here. Some of you are just going for it. Some of you are just starting something new. Some of you are leaving something behind, especially with this Three of Swords and the Six of Swords together. Again, this does feel like moving on from a breakup for a lot of you, but this could also just be a situation that made you feel trapped, that made you feel tied down. I do see that you are either through the worst of this transition or you are going to be soon. There was a lot of pain here. There was a lot of stuckness here. But I do feel like you are definitely moving on from that emotionally. You're moving into something happier. And you are kind of striking this balance between your head and your heart with the Justice card as well. Some of you are also talking to a Libra. Some of you may also be having, if you're having some sort of legal trouble, this is kind of a message: justice will be served. I do actually feel like this is favorable for a lot of you, however. With the Three of Swords, especially if it was something painful and brought a lot of anguish to you with this Three of Swords here. But yeah, there really is this sense of a spark, this new beginning. Something catalyzed you. It could also be kind of a mentor figure, someone who's a bit older, who says something to you, and it just, you might be getting some sort of offer here, or just some advice that really ignites you, ignites your passion, gets you going again. But I still feel like there is this feeling of being stuck, even though emotionally you're kind of releasing the resistance to this. I still feel like for a lot of you there's this need to move, this need to do something. And obviously this is a general reading, so this is going to apply differently for all of you. But the two main currents I'm getting here is some of you are moving on from a relationship, you are leaving someone behind, you have seen the long-term potential, and in October you are, ending something here. Some of you might also just be out of a rough patch. If you are currently partnered up with someone, there could be an end to that as well, but to be honest, it feels more like a split for the collective I'm tapping into. With this Hierophant and the Ace of Wands, again, there is this feeling of being stuck in a situation, being stuck in the day-to-day. I was saying it feels almost like you're comfortably uncomfortable. You haven't been doing anything to really change that situation. But now I'm seeing that there is this spark here. There is this ignition that is occurring for you. So what is the animal wisdom for Aries for this first half of October? Crocodile. Okay. Yeah, you definitely want to go somewhere, but you're also kind of waiting. You're still having to wait for something. It's still not the right time. You do have a plan, or you're trying to come up with one. There's definitely this, you want to be past this feeling of anguish, this feeling of being stuck or hung up. And you're really just healing. You know, rest now while you have the chance. A lot of the time when crocodile comes up, it's a time to really just recharge, to observe. Because something is coming, and you're going to have to strike at the right moment. So I feel like the first part of October is really about you moving on, healing emotionally. You know, with this crocodile, it is a water card with this alchemical symbol for water at the top here. You are healing something. Someone may possibly be coming back from the past, or they may just be thinking about you or watching you, because I do see like these eyes above the water, eyes coming from above the surface. It might be that this person is waiting for the right time to strike for you. Maybe they're expecting you to come back, and this feels like... It feels like this is it. Like, even if you want this person, Aries, I think you know that this just isn't what you really want. And you are making a head-over-heart decision here with the Justice card. Or someone is. Interesting. We are now looking at the second half of October. This is just where the energy is flowing currently. It's the current trajectory here. So again, for some of you, this will be the second half of October. For others, this could be going even further out. Could be going into November or even beyond. I do feel like some of you, if this is a person you have seen a lot, it's someone you do need to take some space from. Like if this is someone you work with, or someone you have mutual friends with, I am kind of getting that energy. And again, it's a general reading, so it's not going to apply to all of you, but for some of you, you are... I feel like you do want to pull away from people for some time, you know, mutual friends. Any other messages? Show me clearly. Someone's definitely holding something back. And again, they might just be waiting for the right time to say something. This could be totally separate from this romantic connection, actually. Okay, what do we have here? Wow, oh my gosh. Interesting energy. We have the Hermit, the Eight of Wands, and the Moon. You're thinking a lot. You really are definitely going into hermit mode here. I do feel like some of you do need to withdraw. Reconnect with this inner light, your inner wisdom here. I feel like some of you are getting a message. Could be from a Virgo with the Hermit here. Could also be Pisces with the Moon. And either way, I feel like this message, it's very emotional. And it's making you reassess things. You're not sure how you feel about something anymore. You're not sure what you're thinking anymore. For some of you, it's really just going to kind of seal the deal. For others, there is actually, again, travel. It's like there finally is some movement here. Some of you really are going to be doing something, moving, traveling in October. And I feel like it's actually supposed to help you reconnect with yourself here. As for the moon, this is showing up in your mind, in communication. This feels a lot like the retrograde energy we're going to be going into with Mercury retrograde. Emotions might be really high. It might be really difficult to communicate, but I do feel like you are pretty intuitive towards the end of October, Aries. Your intuition is definitely increasing, but you might not understand it fully. You might not have a full picture of what is going on. You might just be getting little details, and you kind of just have to trust in your intuition. You kind of have to just trust the messages that come forward here. And I do see that it's very, very important for you to meditate. Meditate at the end of October. What else do we have? What is the animal wisdom for Aries? For the future energy? Where all of this is going? The black egg. Speaking your truth, but also getting in touch with your truth. The black egg represents the throat chakra. I do feel like there's one more card. There is definitely a message that is coming. And for some of you, you are speaking your truth because this 8 of Wands is showing up in your heart. You're speaking from your heart. You're expressing yourself to someone. Again, could very well be Pisces or Virgo. Could also be an air sign. But I do feel like this doesn't feel easy, actually. The 8 of Wands is usually a pretty optimistic card. But given the context here, it's almost like this message kind of blows you out of the water. You don't quite know what to do with it. Or maybe this is a message you are giving someone. There is absolutely communication that is happening with the black egg towards the end of the month. And with the lizard card, I do feel like someone needs to pull away. And honestly, Aries, I do feel like this is your energy. I do feel like this is you feeling overstimulated, needing to reconnect with your creativity, with your spirituality. Lizard is actually a very sensitive animal. They have very highly developed senses, but not everyone sees that because lizard is cold. It's cold-blooded for one. It doesn't have a very defined emotional body energetically in the aura. It's also not very expressive. It's kind of just that stoic face. Some of you might have a hard time being understood. Even though you're really trying to express something at the end of October, or there really is supposed to be this communication here, I still feel like someone is being misunderstood. And I feel like it really is kind of a period to take a time out, to get a little introverted, to meditate. I'm actually curious. I do want to clarify this 8 of Wands. Why is the 8 of Wands here? What is this message? What is this communication? Four of Wands. Okay. Something that's coming up for me. Some of you may actually be hearing about a love interest who starts a relationship with somebody else. Or there is a commitment, or there is something that is happening. again, it did feel like it was something that sealed the deal. And I don't want to freak you out. You'll kind of know if this resonates. This obviously isn't going to apply to all of you. Some of you, you're also getting an offer here. There is a promotion. There is some sort of new position. Maybe a few of you, I really am not getting that sense though. I was going to say maybe a few of you are committing to someone, but overwhelmingly that is not the sense I'm getting. Yeah, that's kind of, it's done. And you kind of know it's already done. And you do have this desire to move forward, but it's like the universe is really trying to slow you down. Mercury retrograde does also bring up travel delays, by the way. So for those of you who are traveling, you might have some extra time. And if there is a delay that happens, or cancellation even, take that as a sign the universe really wants you to reflect, to go inside yourself. If you are traveling, again, some of you, that is kind of the purpose of your travel, to bring you back connected to yourself, especially if this is some sort of spiritual retreat. I do get the sense, again, there is a mentor, there is a teacher, there is someone who is helping you get back in touch with you and what's important to you. And I was saying at the start of this video, you know, with all of the stuff that's been moving through your 7th house, your house of relationships, there has been a lot of change in relationships. There's been a lot of focus there. So I feel like that's why a lot of this is coming up right now. I am going to pull, this was kind of a heavy reading, so I am going to pull a color reading card for all of you. This is kind of a color frequency you can use to help bring you back into alignment, to help you heal, for those of you who need it. Oops. There we go. So we do have Ruby that popped out. And the message for Ruby is rejuvenate your body. This is kind of this Ace of Wands energy I'm actually getting. So I'm going to pull up the book here. I'm actually going to read straight from the booklet to give you the exercise that it gives you. And of course you can just visualize Ruby or surround yourself with this color. Ruby is a color of dynamism, rejuvenation, and strength, increasing your stamina and filling you up with energy and an enthusiasm for life. Totally. Ace of Wands energy. It is a color for prosperity, courage, achievement, and motivation. Ruby also encourages shy people to come out of their shell by building confidence. Use Ruby light to feel truly alive and dynamic. Yeah, so even though you have the Hermit here and you are reflecting, it is important for you to not completely retreat from people. It is important for you to still be in communication, to not isolate yourself. That is kind of a warning I'm getting for some of you. Rejuvenation. Shake your right hand for 30 seconds, then rest it for 15 seconds. Shake your left hand for 30 seconds, then rest it for 15 seconds. Then shake your whole body for 30 seconds and rest it for 15 seconds. Repeat these 3 steps 3 times. Now rub the palms of your hands together for 40 seconds. This exercise helps to warm, awaken, and rejuvenate your body. Visualize ruby light moving through your body, cleansing your blood and stimulating your energy. Become aware of what it is like to feel truly alive. You might even decide to wear a ruby pendant or to hold a ruby crystal to strengthen your body and motivate you for success. Say, Divine Healing Intelligence, please release all pain, stress, and tiredness and infuse my body with healing, rejuvenation, and revitalizing energy. Wow. Yeah, there really is this, inner fire that is being lit in you. And for those of you who are having a hard time, definitely work with this ruby color, because I do feel like there is a lot of success that is available to you, even though emotionally things might be a bit challenging. I do feel like there is advancement here for some of you. I do hope that this reading was helpful. Make sure to hit like and subscribe. Let me know in the comments down below how you liked this color therapy deck. I'm just starting to include these. I feel like it's a good way to, pick up kind of a heavier reading. So let me know in the comments if you liked that. Again, I do have links in the description box for readings, for Reiki sessions, as well as all of my other social media where you can follow me. And I will see you all in the next video. Bye, Aries.